Hey there, Psycho, heard the news. There's a new podcast made just for you. So if you like Psych and pineapples too, then I know you know what to do. Come on down to Santa Barbara town and get ready for Psyched.
Hello, and welcome to Psyched, a podcast where we discuss all things Psych, the hit USA TV show. From hidden pineapples to crazy nicknames, come on, son, and join the fun. If you are a fan of delicious flavor, and I've heard it both ways, this is for you. I'm Keaton, your host, also known as Sean Gus Psych on Instagram. Link in the description. I started watching a few seasons in, live on TV, and since then I have seen every episode at least twice. Today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 11. He loves me, not. He loves me, oops, he's dead. Now, psychusa.fandom.com is such a great website, and their plot summary is amazing, so I always like to read those. So here we go. In 1985, Sean comes running home with a baseball cap over his eyes. He almost makes it inside when his dad notices him and asks him to come over. Henry asked him if he got into a fight again at school. He asks him who did it and is shocked when Sean says a girl hit him. He explains that the girl asked him to sit with her at lunch. She told a story that Sean didn't listen to, and she punched him for ignoring her. Henry explains to Sean that he just experienced a date and that listening to women is incredibly important. Just don't ask her about her age or her weight. In the present day, the entire police station is gathered around Sean, who is able to correctly guess the age and weight of a female officer, despite what his dad told him years ago. Chief Vic wants Lester to take a case that he really doesn't want to. He sees Sean and Gus and gets an idea. He calls them over and says he got a case for them. He hands Sean the case file and tells him the victim is waiting to give a statement. As they walk into the interrogation room, they find a fully unclothed man, Fred Turk, with Lassiter happily watching through the one-way glass. Sean and Gus proceed to give a very uncomfortable interview in which Turk claims he was abducted by aliens. As Turk tells them he woke up naked in a field with a headache, Sean spots a faded ink mark on the guy's hand and shave marks on the back of his heels. The cop thinks Turk is a nutcase, but Sean knows the guy was dragged into that field. There was a crime committed here, he's just not sure what. Turk wasn't assaulted or robbed, but he was probably drugged with a hallucinogen. He also said he remembered a strong lavender scent and seeing barbed wire. Sean knows exactly where that is. When they get to the field, the police are already there with another naked guy, Philip Kaiser. Sean notices a tire pattern in the dirt, a broken strap off a woman's shoe, and a spider web broken at a low level as if someone short had walked through it. Kaiser says he doesn't remember anything and woke up with a headache, same as Turk. Sean sees another partial ink mark on Kaiser's hand and notices he has no tan lines anywhere on his body, same as Turk, which leads them to their next stop, the only tanning salon near where both the victims live that has the new Instatan process, the only process capable of producing their flawless liquid tans. Jeff, the attendant at the salon, tells them that both Turk and Kaiser were regulars, and that it's always the single guys who keep up their tans. Sean remembers the shoe strap and figures a woman might be targeting single guys at a salon until they run into Henry, who tells them, as an ex-cop and a regular at the salon, they are looking in the wrong place. Sean gets a call. There's been another victim, but this time he's dead. Back in the field, Sean spots a green smudge on a fence post. He also sees that the victim is pale. So much for the tanning salon theory. One thing the latest victim does have in common with Turk and Kaiser is a partial ink stamp on his wrist, all three of which, pieced together, form a four-leafed clover, giving Sean his next lead. They head to Shenanigans, an Irish-themed eatery complete with green popcorn, to talk to Marvin, the host. Sean sees the stamp, which matches the marks on all the victims' hands, and Marvin tells them it's only used for their nighttime event, speed dating. They go and talk to Turk, who confirms he participated at the speed dating event. He also tells them strange things have been happening to him ever since. He was a perfect candidate for a job he applied for, but was rejected at the last minute. The company told them they received a call about him, but said it was confidential. Sean is even more convinced the key lies in the speed dating and talks to Vic into ponying up the entrance fee after he tells her he's looking for a short woman with a particular tire on her car and draws them the pattern he saw in the field. Lassiter tells him that the dead victim had the same non-lethal dose of drugs in his system of Turk and Kaiser, but he had a pre-existing heart condition that made the dose fatal and the murder accidental. He thinks they should just haul the women into the station and question them all there, but Vic says that would tip their hand. They all must go undercover at the speed dating event. Back at Shenanigans, Lassiter tells Sean he ran the tire pattern and they're looking for a woman with a late model American sports car. Just then, Lorraine, the woman who runs the event, tells them the rules and gives them personality questionnaires to help match people up. During the speed dating, Sean talks to a woman named Glenda, who asks him about his mother's maiden name, his pet's name, and his favorite color, but later on meets a girl named Darcy, who not only fits all their suspect requirements, but works in pharmaceutical sales, giving her access to drugs. Her questionnaire also matched up perfectly with Gus's, so he set up a date to get more information. Meanwhile, Sean and Juliet match up perfectly on their questionnaires, a speed dating first, according to Lorraine. Gus, Darcy, and Sean are out at the bowling alley, with Gus and Darcy being on a date. Sean sees Juliet on a date with someone else named Kyle. Juliet introduces Sean to him as a psychic. He gives Kyle a reading that he will face rejection in his personal life. On his date, Gus tells Darcy he lives at the beach, so when she says she wants to go back to his place, they are forced to go to Henry's. Darcy wants to take Gus to a field for some privacy, but he knows that this is the robber's modus something and pretends he has hay fever. Darcy feels rejected and cries on his shirt. Henry tells Sean that Darcy is not the one they are looking for. She's too sincere. Lassiter calls Sean to the police station where they are holding Marvin. They found him outside one of the speed daters' apartment and they discovered a stack of stolen questionnaires at his house. Sean notices a green smudge on them similar to the one he saw on the post in the field. Sean knows Marvin had something to do with it, suggests they follow him to work and he'll lead to his female partner. At Shenanigans, the speed dating is already in progress, and Sean overhears Glenda asking another guy the same question she asked him. She's also exchanging glances with Marvin and has a tan line on her ring finger similar to his. With that, he's figured out they're not only partners but also married. They use the speed dating as a cover to get credit card and personal information to steal people's identities and then drugged and dumped them into the field to cover their tracks. Later on, Sean and Juliet are sitting alone in the restaurant when she tells him that despite their perfect match on the questionnaires, they are better off being work friends. Sean deflects the awkwardness by claiming that he simply copied off her questionnaire, which is why the answers matched up so well. Okay, so that is what happened in this episode, and here's what I disliked and what I liked. So this episode is so good. First off, from Henry going to a tanning salon and Sean finding him and being like, "You're old, what are you doing? You're divorced and alone, what are you doing tanning?" And I was just really shocked. And then, of course, Gus trying to get a tanning appointment. Ladies was like, "No, that's weird. You don't need a tanning appointment. You're not." It was so funny. She didn't want to be mean, but she was like, what? And then, of course, speed dating. Them all trying to speed date. And Lassiter and Gus only care about finding the criminal or whatever. So they ask like the most weird questions, and the people are like, "Do you have a problem? Like, you're creepy, you're crazy." That's great. And then also, of course, the chief. The chief is so funny. Like when Sean brings up the tanning thing and the tanning thing falls through. But then at the end, when the ring is, you could see the tan mark of the ring on her finger. And he's like, I knew this case had something to do with tanning. And the chief is like, not again with the tanning thing. So, I mean, it all came back. It wasn't what initially Sean thought, but it still had something to do with tanning, technically. Technically, her tanning with the ring on and then taking it off to disguise herself gave it away, basically. So that was really funny. I feel like, so Gus on a date was pretty good. It was gold. Them going to Henry's house was gold. I don't know why they couldn't make up the roommate thing earlier and just Henry could be chilling in his house while Gus is chilling and having a date. Because it's like, oh, I live with a roommate also. That could be the first thing he says. Instead of, like, making up a fish thing and having Henry hide out. Like, that's weird. But it was funny. It made for really funny TV. So, there's that. And then the Jules on a date thing was weird. And how she only likes guys who bowl really well. And it was awkward encounter. It was very awkward. Like, I don't know about that. That was weird. What else? I definitely, when Sean sees the spider web broken at the low level, like someone short walk through it, because it's up high, it's still fine. So whenever I go hiking, so usually, for some weird reason, no, I guess not. So, well, I mean, I have to think about it. I guess it's weird. Not a lot of spider webs are very down low. Because I'm short. And all my friends and family, they catch the spider webs in their face. And then I just walk right underneath them. So I haven't seen many spider webs that are that short. So I wonder how short this person actually was. Which, I mean, you can compare it with the actual, when they find out, you can compare and see how short she actually was, if you want to. But, yeah, if you think about it, that's like a really good clue that's not that common. Because I hike a lot. Like, I've worked at parks, I've hiked at parks, I've worked in forests. Like, I visit parks, I live right next to a national park. And I never really seem to catch spider webs, and then everyone's taller, just in their face, which is really random. Random comment, but yeah. So, I think that's all I liked. I mean, it was a really, really, really good episode. I guess Marvin's accent was kind of annoying, but hey, it's fine. So anyway, you ready for this? Next segment. This is something awesome. So psychusa.fandom.com is amazing. You should go check it out. If you don't feel like listening to me talk, you can just read it on this website. They have some great quotes and some trivia. And I like to read trivia. It's technically pop references. My pop references segment is included in all this. So, you ready? Another floral motif like Forget-Me-Not. This title was taken from the whimsical game of French origin, traditionally using an ox-eyed daisy to determine whether the object of one's affection reciprocated, although the ending is obviously less traditional. Wow, I couldn't read that. While not directly seen in the episode, a pineapple appears in a deleted scene where Sean is drinking out of a pineapple juice box. I did see this deleted scene. I totally did. Oh, I totally forgot about that. There's a bunch of, if you want to just Google, like, deleted scenes and psych outs and behind the scenes and bloopers and all that stuff, it's all on YouTube. Like, I've seen them all the time. So I guess there's the pineapple, because I don't remember any other pineapple, but they are at a restaurant basically the whole time, so it could be something there. I don't know. So I didn't do the pineapple this week, and also I record these at random times and kind of forget. So there's that. Also, ready? Funnily enough, Henry is wrong when he claims John Wayne's character took a bath at Rio Bravo. It was, in fact, Dean Martin's character who took the bath. Sean refers to Darcy as a peach. The actress who plays Darcy used to be married to Prince, who wrote a song about her called Peach. The song playing during the speed dating scene is You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine by Lou Rawls. The song playing during the bowling scene is Steadily As She Goes by the Raconteurs. Raconteurs. There you go. So there's a trivia. I don't think I'll read the quotes, but if you want to just read some funny quotes and not watch the episode, which you should just watch the episode, but if you want to, you can check out this website. I'll put the link in the description. So there's the pineapple and some trivia. Let's see. There's a lot of guest stars. So this is I Know, You Know segment. So, of course, we got Liam James, who plays young Sean. We got, so you got all the victims, the speeding characters, the people, the criminals, Marvin, and other people. There's a lot. So okay, sorry I had to pause for a second. I lost my list. So I actually did not recognize any guest stars. It's very strange because there's a lot. But Colin Cunningham, who plays Marvin, he is apparently he guest stars in a couple episodes of Stumptown, which I've seen first 3-4 episodes. I think that's the show with Kobe Smulders, who is also a main character in How I Met Your Mother. She plays Robin. I think that's her newer show after How I Met Your Mother. I watched that a while ago, but I should continue because it wasn't bad. I just got distracted by other shows that are really good. Yeah. If you want any show recommendations besides Psych and Monk, I got a whole list. So let's go. Superstore, How I Met Your Mother, Big Bang Theory, Modern Family, Young and Hungry, Baby Daddy. What else do I watch? Scrubs. What else? The Masked Singer. There's so much. And that's just TV shows. If you want to talk about movies, I know, this is a little late to start this podcast, a little late for TV show recommendations since maybe a lot of people are getting their COVID shot and vaccines, so the world's opening up, and now we're not going to be watching as much TV anymore. But hey, I still want to give my recommendations. So if you want to go favorite movies, good movies, Princess Diaries 1 and 2, Sound of Music, Mary Poppins Returns, Hairspray, A Star is Born, Greatest Showman. What else? Oh, there's just so many. Harry Potter, Star Wars. Oh, TV show, Disney Plus. Of course, The Mandalorian. That's related to Star Wars. That's great. There's a lot of newer shows, but I'm sure all these 80 references that Psych brings in, I'm sure those were good too. I've only seen maybe few, holes that's referenced in a future episode. That's a really good movie. That's starring, Dule Hill, yours truly, Gus. That's a funny joke in a future episode. I've only seen a few of those, but I'm sure those are good too. So if you want to recommend the best ones that are referenced in Psych, please comment below. I'd love to watch them. I'm definitely not a scary movie person, which is the problem with Psych, because they have so many scary movie references. But, besides that, I guess. So, those are the guest stars and our recommendations, a long rant. There's probably more I can think of. I'm just said what came to my mind and I like to watch right now. So, there you go. Okay, so this next segment is I've heard it both ways. So this is where we talk about plot holes in this. So, of course, I don't think there's many plot holes here at all, if any. I couldn't think of any. Because I was going with, you know, how Henry wants to take bubble baths and he wants to smell good. Because we see in... I guess that's No, from Earth to Starbucks. He has, like, a lady over or something. So then this just adds to, like, he wants to tan and take bubble baths because he wants to find a date. And he wants to get back into it even though he's old. Sean thinks he's old. And, shouldn't be dating. And he's gonna die alone. Or whatever. So, that just ties those two episodes together. It's not really a plot hole because, you know, he explains it previously. That's why he's tanning and taking bubble baths and doing stuff. Because he wants to get back out there, I guess. Go Henry. So, yeah, good for him, I guess. The Jules plot hole, they just add a lot to her story and then kind of confuse us. So, I don't think she ever dates a bowler after this, but she likes bowlers in this episode, men who can bowl really well. I don't think that's ever been a thing. I don't think she ever bowls after this episode, ever. That's weird. So, I think they just make a story for the episode and then lose it or change it to make it more exciting. Like in the first episode with Jules, the second episode of the whole series, Juliet has perfect parents and a cat, apparently, which, spoilers, that is 100% not true, but changing that story did make the show way more dramatic and way more intense and way better when they develop all those characters. And yeah, I think changing it was a really good idea on the writer's part and the actors they got for those characters. Pretty gold. So that's all I'll say. I won't do many spoilers, but I'm hoping everyone has seen this show by now, but you know what? It's fine. No spoilers. I'll just say that. Let's see. Gus is chilling. Lassie, I don't know. Chief. Not many plot holes in this at all. So, I already talked about the pineapple. I think that is all. Oh! Let me think if I can think of more recommendations, because why not? So, Young Sheldon, I mentioned Big Bang Theory earlier. Big Bang Theory has a spin-off called Young Sheldon, and Young Sheldon is Sheldon Cooper in his childhood. Like, you go from seeing old Sheldon, where he's working as a scientist, and he's 30-something, and then you go to Young Sheldon, where he's 10 and he's grown up. And they actually fun fact, the mom in Big Bang Theory, her daughter plays the mom in Young Sheldon, because Sheldon Cooper, that's the same human. They're gonna have the same mom, but it's a flashback. Young Sheldon is a flashback. So, the mom won't be as old, just like Sheldon's not as old. He's a kid. And so the daughter of the person who plays the mom in Big Bang Theory plays the mom in Young Sheldon, the actress. And it's really cool because they look almost the same. And she just is younger because she's younger. So it fits really well. It fits really well. It's scary. It's very scary. So that's some fun trivia on some random show that you might never watch. But hey, I enjoy it a lot. My dad enjoys it a lot too. We watch it together. He prefers Big Bang Theory, but I do like the whole family vibe instead of like the friend vibe, the nerdy friend vibe. You have the crazy family vibe. I think that is all. Let's see. I don't know. One more thing I should explain, because I usually explain this. So usually, my segment for the pineapple is, are you a fan of delicious flavor? So, if you didn't know, I usually explain this, because I said spoilers, in case people haven't watched the show, and I didn't even explain the pineapple in this episode. So, why there's a pineapple. So, every episode of Psyched, there's a hidden pineapple. There's either one or multiple, or it's in somehow, like the bloopers, like this episode. There's a hidden pineapple, and you gotta look for it. And usually I ask people on Instagram to tell me, and then I'll give them a shout out on this podcast, but it was in the bloopers, and I kind of forgot, and it would have been really hard to find anyway, unless you know the bloopers, like, really well. So, there's that. There's a pineapple in every episode of Psych. Literally, every episode. So, yeah. And if you really want to know, on Peacock TV, the Peacock streaming service, NBC streaming service, they did put together clips of where the pineapple is in every episode, which is really cool. And some are still hard to find, even though they show me exactly where it is. I'm still like, there was a pineapple in that scene? This is the scene, right? I mean, you're telling me it's the scene, but where is it? So that's funny. So I will leave you with this question. If you ever go speed dating, what outfit would you wear? Because we got the Jules. Jules' hair is spot on. This is one of my favorite Juliet's hair ever. One of my favorite. And then, of course, they make fun of what Lassiter's wearing. Of course. Because he's, he wants to dress up like a cop. Because he's doing cop work. And he doesn't want to date. And he's bad at dating. So, that's my question. I'd probably wear... maybe like business casual. Because I want to be casual, but I want to be nice, but I'm not really that fancy of a person. So I did like Jules' outfit a lot, but I don't know. That's a good question. So think about that, and I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.